Well, hello everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. As I indicated on Discord, I was hoping to be ready to roll, and then I kept running into updates and doing things wrong and starting things and having to restart over. So, well, we got another hour behind. But anyway, hey, it's still great. It's not a scheduled stream. Although I kind of hinted that if things went well with yesterday, we'd do something today flight-wise. And today, why not? Allegiant. So we're going to head from St. Pete, Florida, up to Clarksburg, West Virginia. It's a place I don't see a lot flown on any of the streams, let alone VATSIM or anyone else. So I thought, what the heck, let's go see. Who knows, maybe we'll run into power lines like we did in Charleston, West Virginia. We'll find out. But anyway, this is a real world flight, flew a couple days ago. And, well, we thought, what the heck, let's fire it up and head on up north. Where the weather is a little more frightful, at least wind-wise. But beyond that, it's not too bad. So, but again, we are sitting on the line, St. Pete, Florida, otherwise known as St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida, across the bay from Tampa. So if you all love flying out of Tampa, that's more than likely the airport you were using. So today, it's the ToLiss A319. So hope you all enjoy. Those of you out there contemplating buying this plane, I'm going to tell you before you see it. Spoiler alert, buy it. Yes, I highly recommend. If it says ToLiss, I recommend buy. Not sell, buy. Oh, wrong kind of environment. Sorry, I thought we were in stocks and bonds real quick. But anyway, so hope you enjoy today. Like I said, ToLiss, we may take a little more time than usual because a neat feature just came out with NavGraph. So we're going to kind of explore it. I just got the notice today. So we're going to see what that's all about as well. So hope you enjoy the flight. We're in the A319 from St. Pete to Clarksburg. So if y'all don't mind, let's head up in the office and let's pre-flight. And at that point, we'll begin to introduce this feature. It looks pretty neat. We'll see what's really under the hood of it. All right, there it is, folks. We're up in the office. Let's get some quick checks done here before we get going too far. First off, our preliminary checks. We just stepped in, so the fuel pumps are off. The batteries are currently on, as well as we're on external power. We have the ground control set to on, so we can do a cockpit voice recorder check, or CVR. Sounds good. And let's see, anything else here real quick? Let's do a quick look at it here. We'll go down to the bottom. Spoilers are down, flaps are up. However, confirming flaps indeed are up. I've been kind of kicking around. Are we going to do this on VATSIM or are we going to do it on POSCON? I'm going to try VATSIM only because I'm curious about exactly how CTAF procedures are really going to be used when center's up. So we'll get to that maybe if Miami stays up. I think Miami controls this airport center-wise. Tampa actually controls it approaching departure. All right, so, and our start levers are there, mode control normal, bump it up one, turn it on, and I think we're set to go. Do a couple checks here in the middle. Engines, plenty of oil. Electrics, we are confirmed on ground power. Hydraulics, everything looks good. All right, so let's clear. Oh, clear. All right, we're ready to do this here, folks. Again, if you're really on the wall and really wondering, do I really want the ToLiss A319, folks? I mean, the A319, the A320 Neo, and the 321s, both CO and Neo. CO meaning, I think the C is conventional engine options, and Neo is the new, more lean on the burning of fuel, yet not lean and drag, because they're bigger. You kind of toss it up in the air, I guess. Again, that's all the slide rules the engineers and all use. So, but anyway, I'm just kind of stalling a little bit so we can get out of the commercial break. So, welcome back, folks, and we'll get into the pre-flight and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Pre-flight here is done with Sim Toolkit. I find it more intuitive for pilots, especially those learning the art of flying. And it is a little bit of an art. It takes a little bit, but once you get the basics, folks, it really is not all that bad. Just flying the pattern gets you that. All right, so we are going, like I said, from Pi, which is Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, to Clarksburg, CKB, and the route, I don't know if you've all seen it, but I'll just, in case, refresh your memory. There in the chat room. Mako to CAMJO to Twins to Spartanburg, onto the J85 Airway to Charleston and in on GEFFS, GEFFS, GEFFS. Planning runway 21 at this time. Now, none of these airports are D-ATIS, so we're not going to have to worry about that. But what I mentioned just before the break, as you can tell, this is one of those airports where we're right on the border, Jacksonville, Miami. And I'm not sure which one wins out here. I think it's Jacksonville, but it's either Jacksonville or Miami, obviously, but I always get them confused. It's either Orlando's on Miami, Tampa's on Jacksonville, or flip it. So, but again, we're now operating, if you're in the United States, KUSA, or VATUSA, sorry, territory, CTAF, and I don't know how in depth they've gone with it. There's the word I've been looking for. Because technically, if you're going to use CTAF, you don't talk to center. You talk on CTAF till you get airborne, but at this airport, by the time you're airborne, you're in Jacksonville. So you get the quandary, if you will. So anyway, that's where we're at here. So you can kind of see how the departure works out. Camo is right north of us here. Right there is the end of it. So, so I'm really kind of curious how this will play out. All right, so let's do it here. Loadout for today. Uh-oh, I think they may have just gone down because of my quandary. No, I doubt that one, really. On a second, yeah, I am on X-Plane, okay. Payload, 22,000 pounds. Zero fuel weight today is just under 112,000 pounds. Blocking out of here with 16,418 pounds. May push it up to 16,600. We'll see. Planning 100 peeps on board and no cargo. So, and then again, here's our flight plan. Dispatch has given us a cost index of 30 and 39,000. So pretty decent flight ahead. All set. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Sorry, folks. Weather-wise here, what do you expect? It's Florida, Central Florida to be exact. 040 at 9 or 10 miles and clear. Folks, that's a Florida day. Temperature 16, or at least a springtime Florida day, because it's actually 60 degrees here. So up here now, Clarksburg, West Virginia, on the other hand, well, I think it's probably pretty close to a normal spring day there. Winds are here. Let me just roll down so we can see the METAR. For those of us METAR savvy, winds are 220 at 17, gusts to 25, 10 miles of visibility, and again 4,000 foot clouds in the area, few of them, and a temperature of 2 degrees Celsius. On our temperature scale here in the U.S., that's just about 35, 36 degrees. Still above freezing, but still cold. So, all right, and you can see for 2-1, it's right down the runway almost, so not bad. So shouldn't be too bad of an approach. I'm going to go ahead, and I am going to go ahead and pre-file onto VATSIM. I do have questions. I'm going to have to go back to that article on CTAF here and see, okay, when ATC is up, now what? So, all right, so let me just hang on a second. There's my clock, 13, 17, what the? Hang on, how did I do that? Gotta love it when you flight plan and somehow you mess up the time you propose. Just making sure I really messed it up that bad. I really messed it up that bad, folks. Wow. I actually proposed an 11:50 Zulu departure, knowing it was 11 o'clock on the, unless that's what I was doing. I looked at the clock and said, oh, that's what time, and messed that one up big time. All right, so we'll go with, we'll just try it. What the heck? Go for a 1740 pushback. What do you think? Folks, that's a half hour from now. You think I can do it? Maybe, maybe not. And maybe not might be in what it takes to talk about this new little gizmo they have on NavGraph charts. You may have gotten, oh, that's not what I wanted. Hang on a second. Ooh, that would have been bad. There we go. All right, yeah. All right, RVR, let's go 200. All right, okay, C aircraft, we're good. File into flight plan, coming online as, hang on a second, we will be Allegiant AAY 989 A319, service to Clarksburg. Okay, so we already got ourselves a VATSIM squawk, so 3503. Okay. On X-bounder and off. We can turn these two on. All right, there we go. And not yet. I haven't put fuel in. All right. So let's talk about, well, I can't talk with this one. Can't use Sim Toolkit just yet. It hasn't updated. Let's see. Sometimes when I come back to it, it will. Nope, it hasn't. All right, so that's okay. We'll just get rid of Sim Toolkit. Plan B. me a second to resize. All right. So what's this big hoopla I've been talking about? All right, let me bring in charts. What happened is what is this thing called again? Where's my phone? It's the easiest way to read it. Annotations, I think it's called. Yeah, annotations are now in NavGraph charts. First off, this is a payware piece of equipment here, NavGraph. You can use it to update your FMCs as well as your SIMs navigational databases. And then they came out with the charts. And what this does, now, if you're just going to fly the US, maybe over to Hawaii, maybe up to Alaska, but nothing in between like Canada or Mexico, SkyVector is your best bet. You won't get some of these features, but it's free. And if you're not going to fly abroad, where this tool really comes in handy, I would almost recommend not getting it. Other than, unless you like GEFFS charts. And if you know what GEFFS charts is, well, then you'll probably want it. So, but if you're going to fly Europe, US to Europe, or Europe and you're a US resident like me, or you're going to fly Africa, or you're going to fly Australia, New Zealand, you know, pick your other location than the US. Folks, you're going to want this thing. It gives you all of the charts for the world. Right here, all you got to do is literally just go to airports, put your airport in and poof, or build a route in SimBrief. Free, by the way, SimBrief is free. You can import it here. And then this is how I got all of this. This came right off that SimBrief operational flight plan. I can view it here. We'll explain why it doesn't look like probably the one you have here because it's the American Airlines format. But you can do that too in SimBrief. But anyway, it's a, oops, back, go back. There we go. Oh, it is here. Okay, cool. So we'll just talk about it here. Annotations, you'll know you have it. First off, you'll have to load it and then it'll restart. When it comes up, you're going to have a new icon up here, a little pin with a little squiggly on it. Let's click on it and see what I can do. Look at that. That is cool, folks. Now, granted, whoopee-doo on a flight plan, right? Delete. Clear. All right. However, let's scroll down a little if you don't mind. How many of you are real pilots? Like me. I am a real private pilot, just not current right now. Have a license, the whole 9 yards. License to be dangerous out there. You thought flying with Mike was dangerous? Let's go in a real plane. No, just kidding. Anyway, so if you've flown any real time, you've done a cross country or time or two. When you're doing your cross country, now again, this format is not the greatest to display this. You would have over here your actual time over inlet, time over Mako, or estimated, and then below, either above or below, estimate and actual. Also estimate and actual fuel. And time to the next one. Now, some of that's in here, but you would be going down the list, writing it in on your things. So let's click here. I don't know how to do text. I don't know how to do text, but I know it was there because they showed it in the email I got. I'd hate to say I gotta write it. Anyway, it's now the other thing for sure we can use this on, but this I did see where they had written in on the nav log. I don't see text and I don't know how to pull that in. Again, I just got this today, folks, in an email, and when I loaded charts, poof, it loaded in. Now let's do something else here. Let's close out of this. And, well, you know what? Let's pull up St. Pete. All right, and let's just say we get clearance. I think we're going to, well, they say runway 4. Let's do 36. And they tell me, hang on, let's click it. Tango, Alpha 8. Now I know where my red line is. I know what I'm going to follow. Albeit not the greatest of red lines, but you get the point. I could also highlight there or here. So it's going to be fun to learn, folks. But again, you got to first have the program. Now, NavGraph, you do have to pay for. Even for the flight sim and FMC updates charts, just a little more to the subscription. Gives you the world of charts, meaning I have Frankfurt, I have Munich, I have, what was the name of that one? Nice and Alicante. All of these littler airports, folks, that you may not have, Clarksburg, like many of you in Europe may never have heard of. Well, there are airports over in Europe similar that we rarely will have ever heard of. They'll have the charts for it, folks, and they're in Jepson format. See if this one is. So you're going to get a lot more detail here. So you'll get, for that extra in the subscription, the Jepson charts now, and this neat little tool. Plus, you've always got the weather. You can bring the radar on. Granted, it's morning, folks. The thunderstorms come at night in Florida. But again, I could take it up. Well, let's just do this. What's going on in the United States weather-wise? Oh, we got a little batch up here, some clouds. It's actually a pretty calm day, it looks like. Not bad. It's kind of a rarity in spring, but okay. And Bermuda's getting a little pounding and a little bit in South Texas. But overall, not a bad day in the U.S. But you can also, hang on, down here, bring up all of these other things with it. So there's a whole bunch to this nav graph, on top of the fact now you have annotations that you can make. I wish I knew how to do the text, folks, because that right there blew me away that I'd be able to do that. So, and I remember the days of having to do those checks, and you know, you really want to do that. So keep yourself up to date. All right. Enough time on NavGraph here, folks. Wasn't meant to be a PSA forum, but that annotations thing, when I read it, I just, I had to go in on stream, cold, not knowing a thing of what it would do with you all. So now those of you that have it will be going, ooh, let's go play. Some of you have already been playing with it because I'm sure it's been out for some time today already. So, all right. So real quick, let's do our, well, we'll just go ahead, get rid of charts. We'll come back to it when we're ready to put the departure in and check our route. Boy, that was perfect timing because we just went to a break, and boy, that was perfect. Wasn't planning that one. All right, folks, we'll get back to getting this plane rolling here right after about another 20 or 30 seconds here in the break. Subscribers, thank you so much for the help. Still working on a lot of things here. After 3 years, I am still just unpacking Twitch, trying to figure it out. And thank you for helping me. The aircraft part's easy, the scenery part's easy. So what do I do for helping the stream out? And some of you've come in and really shown me some ideas. I just still don't know how to use them. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And welcome back, everyone else. Thank you. I know you in the YouTube crowd are like, what commercial break? We didn't see any. Well, that's true. You won't, because I am not to that level that they have monetized me there yet. But if you're interested, folks, and you think you've missed something or you want to go over something again, there's a link to YouTube where just about every video is at that I've done. All right, let's get back and get this plane in the air, because remember I said we only have 10 minutes, so let's get going. All right, so we left off with the fuel pumps. We went through what our flight looks like, so let's make the flight do it. All right, so we've got these neat little, oh wait, fuel, back up. Hang on a second here, cheat sheet. You know, and I did think about releasing a basic version of what I use as what I call a cheat sheet. But again, I don't like, you know, I like the ideas that some of the streamers out there give me, but I don't want to copy them. Does that make sense? So that's why sometimes, folks, I will use it offline, but and not make it available that way. All right, so there's our fuel, 16.6. We're looking to put in 16.418. You will not get specifics here. Get it right down to that, which I know some of you real world guys, well, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I know. And we'll take the best we get. And I like this, actually, because now I know I have at least another 10 feet I can fly before it goes, I'm out of fuel. All right, and when it says refueling, oh hell, let's just do it this way. The fuel truck pulls up. That's another thing with ToLiss, folks. Oh, the animations are amazing. Okay, we all know these guys, the little baggage loaders, there's not much to them. But the fuel truck drives in. I can call the catering trucks to the doors. The leveling feet will come down before the uh, box goes up, and then the door will wait till the box is in place. I mean, they really took their time in how they did this. So, yeah, really, really well done. Even the air stair, the levelers go down, the stairs go up, and then it levels the platform you enter. The only bad thing is that's not what Allegiant uses, but it works, so I'm fine with it. So, but really, high quality here. All right, so we got our fuel. Right now, we're going to go with, let's just see what we have for baggage. Let's go to 0. Remember, that's what it said we're running. Click load, and we're done. Let's go to attend to the attendant. So you're on the mechanic page, attendant page, and then we come up here. We can control the doors. Go to page 2, put in 3 more people. We got to bring it up to 100. Load, close. Now let's see how close we are on 0 fuel weight. Okay, let's go to weight and balance. Okay. We're looking for 111,993. We're a little over by about 40 pounds. Again, probably people, what they consider a person being the standard weight plus the standard bag, that all varies. So we're good with it. We'll stick with it. and they're still refueling. Where are we in that? We're needing another 3,000 pounds. Okay, so we'll let them get going with that, and we'll come back. We'll do our APU fire check. And while I'm here, I do my engines. Okay, cockpit and lights, McDo's all look good. And the APU, we won't start the APU just yet. Flap lever, we've already done. Speed brake, we've already done. Probe heat, off. Airbus guys, remember, dark switches, usually they're in the right spot. For instance, see how it says, or it'll say off. Okay, working our way down. Air conditioning panel, we're not going to worry about yet. Cross bleed is in the auto position, and the generators are in fault because the engines aren't running. All right, let's come down here. Just about done filling. So I am going to go outside. Give it a couple seconds and the truck will drive away. Possibly right through that one. Nope, he didn't drive away yet. There he goes. And that's another thing. He drives away. It's just not like a poof. He's there. Poof. He's gone. Now, granted, he's going to go poof. And he's gone, but he drove away from the scene. I really like that. And now you see it's not saying refuel. So let's go back up, kick on our APU. Looking for, whoop, got to get status set. Hang on. Clear. Looking for flap open. So with my, okay, flaps open. Starting. And that's pretty much all you got to do with the APU. It will bring itself up, turn it onto the generator, and all you'll have to do is push the lead switch to get the air going. See where we're at. Okay. Trying to look at what we skipped over while we were waiting on this section. Trying to figure out why the TCAS always does that. And we're waiting for available, which is about to light up. Okay, with it available, let's come up here. One more time. Lead switch on. Our packs will take the lights out of fault. Go to normal, and I am gonna look, see what our temps are. Okay, they're gonna cool. All right, we're good to go. Last checks up here. Electrical panel all looks good. Hang on a second. Yep, just the generator lights. Ventilation panel's good. And we did our cockpit voice and our attendant test. All right, let's get the ADers in a line. Going to 1. Make sure we see on bat. Okay, and finally number 3. Don't ask me why, because Boeing does it too. Makes no sense to me why we number like that. I'm sure pilots out in the audience could let us know. Okay, we're in alignment. Moving on, let's double check now. The strobes are in auto. position lights. I've got them set to number 2. If those don't, or one of those lights don't light up, try number 1. It's 2 separate light bulbs out there, folks, in each wingtip. If one's not burning, try the other one, see what happens. And guess what? If it's on, you don't have to do an MEL, which would mean you got to get a mechanic. Because you got to have your navs. I don't think you're allowed to fly without them. Long time since I flew. Back in the 80s, you couldn't. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let you today. All right, so seatbelts. We'll go ahead and turn those on. And emergency lights are already in auto. Landing elevation pointing straight up is auto. And pack flow we set to normal. Fuel pumps can come on. And since we're on the APU now, power can be turned off. That was one of the bigger flickers that I've ever seen. Don't know why. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Radios. Oh, let's check that up there. We're good up here. It's in data. Down here. Unicom for now. We'll switch it over in a minute to the CTAF frequency. And then we have Mayday over here. And we're squawking 3503, which is what I believe we were told to squawk. Yes. Okay. Let's get into the McDo, shall we? Just getting them positioned. Clear. Clear. Let's go to the init page. And now I'm going to bring charts back in. And I'm also going to bring this back in. Moving it over to where we can see a little better plan. All right. Init request. If you have a SimBrief account, folks, tie it, read the directions in the manuals, tie it in here, and it will automatically populate a lot of stuff in here for you. Oh. All right, so the data link is good. Go for the IRS. Oh man, I just did it. Oh well. What I meant to do was set my lat long, then align. So what we're doing is we're actually going to align to the airport reference point. Is it a bad thing? No, you're only off by, 10, 20, 30 to 100 yards. But it's still nice to get it closer to where the airplane actually is, which in reality is not going to hurt anything. That was my bad. All right, and we'll get our first wind update. Okay. All right, now we are still updating. However, we're going to go to RadNav. Can't I? That was weird. Really weird. Let me do this. Let's just move it over. All right. So now we go to F plan. So we're using the Mako 1 departure. Here's what it looks like. Currently 6,000 foot or 9,000 feet. I'm gonna go with the 9,000 foot. We'll do the 360. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of a crosswind, but you know what? That sure beats 6,000 feet. So 36. Come up here, click Pi, departures. 36. And then we look for our SID, standard instrument departure, and our transition on there. For us today, CAMJO. Are the other two? There's Layson. There's Woolen. Oh, right there. Okay. Just curious. All right, and then insert. All right, so what do we see here? So we're going to go straight out 420 feet. We then go to 356, and then we'll go to inlet. This is your call here, folks. You can get rid of it, or when you get airborne and you haven't crossed inlet yet, go direct. We're going to leave it as is. And I'm going to dial this down. See how that's working? You're going to go that way. So eventually you are going to have to make the turn. Very slight, but still nonetheless a turn. Okay? But let's continue on it. There's inlet, Mako, Bapo, E-Cake, Woolen, one of the transitions. Spring is coming up. And we're watching this nav display to make sure we don't see any, far to the right, far to the left shoot-offs. This is, by the way, don't let this fool you. This is that vector. Boeing guys, you know that word. That's what that is. If I would have closed it off, that wouldn't have been there. Okay. So we're at spring. Last up is CAMJO, and then we're on to the actual flight route. Okay, so we're headed to Twins next. Hang on, let's get caught up here. There's Twins, then Spartanburg. I'm going to kind of pull out a little here, folks, so we can see it. So Twins, Spa, or Spartanburg, Niels, and then Charleston, West Virginia, HVQ, at 1990, I think it is, would know that. I think that's his handle. And GEFFS. Then we're talking Clarksburg. I can hear some of you going, why would you be worried about that now? You can always actually change it in flight, folks, but to have it already set up is one last step to worry about. So I'm going to go ahead, hone in on Clarksburg. Okay, so we're going to come off GEFFS. Now, another neat little feature, let's see the weather currently there as of 51 minutes ago. 210, 16, 23. I think we briefed that. Actually, no, it was 200. So now it's down the runway. So I'm going to kind of stick that it's going to stay like that. So we have 4 approaches down here. Another neat feature, folks, you can actually take a look and see what we can fly. Now we can take a look at the chart. I see one where we come over over the airport, fly out, do our procedure turn, come back. Or we fly over here to Morgantown. No, we're not doing that. I think there's any other trans. Let's look at it again. So we come off CKB, fly it out, or actually do a procedure turn, come back in. It's doable. And our GPS just aligned. All right, let's take a look here. Arrivals. We can do the ILS or we can do the RNAV. Okay, hang on a second. One more time, let's look at the weather. Ceiling's at least 12,000. Huh, never knew that's how that reported. Okay, so it's Eakin. Oh wow, you can do one from here too. Or final. We'll just do final. Meaning we're going to do just like you say, see here, we're just going to kind of fly, make our turn, come in on the ILS. I think that's pretty fair. We'll do the ILS. There is no star. All right, so basically I'm going to keep the discontinuity in because at GEFFS I'm going to take over. We'll probably work our way in, enter a kind of a right downwind, and then bring it in. Terrain-wise, we're looking at 5,000 foot to worry about around us to 7,000 this way. So as long as we stay right here, airport itself, folks, is about 1,200 feet. So I think we're good. But I think if we hang tight over to the right here or to the left, come around, we'll be fine. And there you go, folks. There's the route. Now, let's continue on. Okay, here's what we do with the ILS. If we have to, we proceed on the missed approach. 1800's a right turn to 3200, direct Clarksburg, and hold. Continue hold to 3,200 feet until ATC tells you, okay, you dizzy enough yet? Head on back. No. Okay, but let's just say the weather is still, we'll use the official weather term, crappy, and we have to go to our alternate. It's already in here. We're going to Dulles, folks. So we'll fly out to Morgantown, then enter the arrival at Morgantown for Dulles. Already in there, so we can just plan, get on it. We can actually put it all in here too, folks. We're not going to. All right, so there we go. The flight plan is in. I'm going to go ahead and clear things up. There we go. All right. And clear. And you can see it paints it on here so you can kind of see how your plane's flying. Back down to Florida. And we do have that. Okay. All right, we'll continue on. So next up's RadNav. Just making sure if we got to come back, we have ICWT programmed in, good to go. Now we head back to the initialization page. We go to page 2, and we're going to kind of bring in now our EFB again. Okay, so we said over here that our center of gravity is going to be 111.993. 112.0. Looking at it here, that works out. You end up rounding up here, folks, so we're good there. 16.4. I'm actually going to put 16.6 on here. If I could type. I heard somebody out there say if he only had a brain from The Wizard of Oz. All right. So we got this page ready to go. Now it's time to go to the perf page. We're about ready to roll, by the way, folks. Let me make sure. Yeah, perf page. All right. Couple of things we can do here. I really love this when they include this in their packages. A takeoff calculator and the ability to do the uplink here in your FMC. Okay, because here we can play numbers and see. Now, granted, in the real world, you're going to get handed, this is what you're going to do. You look at your, calculations and see if they jive. If they don't, then you're going to have to hash it out. All right, so currently, coming down the list, 3-6 is our intended runway. We're not doing an intersection departure. If so, we'd put down the feet. Wind currently 050 at 7. If I had to be critical of ToLiss, which I'm not going to be, folks, it is a phenomenal program. I would love to see the METAR, especially for the time this weather is, because it's always challenging. 3012. Got a dry runway. Don't need any ice. 128.4 is good. CG289. Now, do we want to flex the takeoff or do we want to toga? And I want the air conditioning on. Or let me rephrase that. My passengers want the air conditioning on. All right, so if I flex, and let's say I take it to the maximum here of 136, I'll have 1,700 feet in which to stop the aircraft. Of course, we can bounce it back to 108, which gives us 5,700 feet. So that's a possibility. Flaps 1, everything looks good. I like it. Let's try a toga. This is full power, folks. Full power. We're airborne with 4,000 feet of runway left. Little more wear and tear on the aircraft. Now, granted, there are parameters within the aircraft that you're flying that would preclude flying a flex takeoff, and you had to go toga, but most of the time you're good. I'm going to flex it. I'm going to see how she does here. All right, so we're going to be flexing to 68 degrees. So we're not going to run the airplane at 100+% on the engines. We're going to do a little savings of wear and tear by giving it enough thrust to get in the air, climb, make the altitude without pushing those engines so hard that we're pushing them early on their major overhauls, which is a lot of money, folks. So that's why the airlines will pull the power back. Any kind of savings to getting them to that number is a lot of savings to them. Meaning, those of you flying Allegiant get that $40 seat. And then complain about having to pay for your carry-on. Okay, so what is 1021 millibars? I'm going to tell you, it is definitely not 3012, so that has to change. But, well, this is an hour and 2 minutes old. Let me see if that pulled possibly from a newer. Nope. So we got to change that. Okay, let me show you how we change it. Hang on, just getting things set up here. There we go. Let's see. So we need to be 1020 actually. Oh, I got rid of. I was trying for what did I get rid of? Yeah, you all said it. Yeah, you got rid of it again. I know what I'm doing wrong. 10, 20. It's me, folks, not the program. It's me. Winds are 1, dun, 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 050 at 7. And the at is done with the diagonal. All right, and dry. Okay, I've never done this one. I don't like this. There we go. Okay, 68, 1020, all looking good. 134, 134, 136. Okay, let's go ahead and insert. We'll make the change here. It's 136, 136 over here. All right, so V1, that's our safety speed, folks. 134, rotate. I think you know what that means. 136. V2 is our safety, our speed to best clear a 50-foot obstacle in the shortest amount of distance. We'll start retraction at 145, slats at 182. We should be clean as we pass 202. Flaps are going to be set to 1, and we'll have the horizontal stabilizer set up 0.4, and then we're again flexing at 68. If we knew the formulas, we could work these out to be more accurate. A guy by the name of Blackbox 711. Many airports now in the U.S., he does cover a lot of the DATIS ones. But if you're flying Europe, check his website out, folks. There we go. Oh, the mouse was really throwing me off. Okay, so folks, we're just about ready to go. We got some last minute things to do. They're wrapping up in the back. The biggest stuff is done. All we got to do is push that back in, bring this up, put it on. I put it on flight plan. I keep this one on takeoff. Okay, with all of our checks done. Now, some of you would go on and do a secondary flight plan and all of that. That just takes so much time. We're already at a little over an hour. Let's get this bird going, shall we? Okay, so the altimeters, 3012. That's probably why it set the way it did. Now, we want to make sure our front control unit flight directors are on, LS on, and config or constraints on. Okay, we're in VOR, 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 and speed and heading with the dash and the dot means they are controlled by the management computers on board. Altitude, however, will only take us to 100 feet right now. Let's do a quick look here. If we have a top altitude 1,600 feet, I think we're going to go higher. Okay, and now with the dot, that means it too is going to be managed. So if there's any restrictions in the climb, it's going to hold it, meaning chart, meaning published. Otherwise, it blows through. Okay, and finally, Anti-skid's good. Nose wheel steering's on. 3 green, lever down. Again, flaps show up. And spoilers down, flaps indeed are up. All right, so let's do this. Okay, we're just about ready to go, folks. Starting up smart cars for Millennium Aviation. Logging in. Not been my favorite day for logging in. Everything seems to want to log out today. Start the flight. Survey says, okay, we are ready to go, folks. Hang on, I'm getting screen here. It's got a little change to it. There we go. Sounds like a helicopter. There is a helicopter over there. How about that? All right. Interesting. Let me let's do a little quick look through my chat here before we get going. All right, and we're good to go, folks. Alright, all checked out good. I do want to mention Pelto JR followed us about 5 days ago. I know it's been a little bit since we streamed. I do want to broach that real quick before engines start. Folks, pretty much for the next month, plan on just about one flight. For sure, I'm going to try my hardest, one flight a week. However, any more will be a blessing, because blessings are coming to our family here, and I don't want to be tied into having to do any kind of streams or anything, because the month of the end of March, beginning of April, looking at 2 grandbabies coming, and I want to be available on my days off as much as possible. So just wanted to put that out there for y'all, that you're only going to probably see one scheduled stream. So it's not because I'm backing out or anything like that. It's just free up a lot of time in case the grandbabies make their triumphant arrival. All right. All right, what do you say we start this sucker up? We've been sitting on the deck long enough. I know part of that was due to, you know, this new annotations thing with NavGraph. So let's close up outside here. Oh man. I do love AI vehicles just because of that. All right, let's do it. Okay, first thing, beacons. Well, first off, let's get the transponder OTA. Actually, let's go ahead, so if I forget, it's set. Beacons on.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, got the beacon on. We are ready to go. Flight attendants, arm the doors. Hey, chocks.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Cleared to connect, face us west.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, folks, we are pushing back. A lot later than expected, but I didn't look to see how close to on time with the actual flight. Okay, let's watch our engines. Again, I'd like to say welcome aboard, Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate having you aboard. Hope you enjoy the flight from Tampa, St. Pete up to Clarksburg, West Virginia. Okay, and that avail on the ECAM1 up here says we can now kick over number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Starting number 1. Okay, and now with this hitting avail here shortly, we'll then start a 3-minute
Tow
warm-up.
is disconnected and bypassed.
While
and
we
has been
continue,
removed.
I'll just
Hand
start a
signal will
timer.
be on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a great flight.
And thanks, Better Pushback. We'll see you next time at St. Pete. All right, so there he pulls away. We've got the avail and the timer going. What I'm going to do for the pins. All right, there we go. And then I'm just going to hit him with, okay, that we saw. Okay, let's run through it. APU, lead off. Okay, now we're going to go down to the bottom. Arm the spoilers, set the flaps. And we got the radar going and the TCAS going. Okay, next up, pitch. All right, this is something pretty cool. I like about Airbus. It's a shame Boeing doesn't do. Oops, you know what? It helps to be on the right one. Let's go to the control surfaces. Makes it real easy when you can look at the ECAM and set your trim. There we go. And now I am going to go ahead and check my surfaces while I'm here. Make sure they're operational. And that they go to neutral when I let off on them. Okay. Finally, the rudder. Okay, and deselect, go up here, turn the APU off. Slides are armed, nose wheel light, taxi, and elapsed time. Okay, the only thing we have not done yet is come over to CTAF. $118.3. All right, and close that. All right, we are ready to taxi. Tampa traffic, or correction, St. Pete Clearwater traffic. Allegiant 989 taxi to 36. Brakes off.
And St. Pete traffic Coast Guard 2051, clear the field departing to the west, we'll see you.
All right, so you can see we have another little checklist to run through here. Auto brakes, cabin, and then have the system do a test. Okay. And a takeoff configuration looks good. Finally, brake temperatures are good. Engine mode, let's bring that back to normal. I lost myself. Turnoffs, landing lights when we get to the runway. Now we need terrain radar in a second, even though there isn't so much terrain here in Florida to worry about. Config checked, and we're ready to go. TA ready to go. And tower, Allegiant 989 will be ready to go at 36. Again, the delay in takeoff due to showing off annotations, folks. Those of you with the program NavGraph charts from NavGraph, you'll have gotten an email explaining it. Really, I can't wait to learn more about this, because the little bits that I have read look like we're going to have the ability to put in our times and on waypoints and all of that, see how we're progressing. All right, let's go ahead and cross over to 2 and 4. Okay, cabin's ready. Cockpit's ready. Roger. 989, clear for takeoff. Runway heading RNAV to inlet. Allegiant 989. Actually, don't know if you'd get that with this one. St. Pete Clearwater, Allegiant 989, departing 36. Flex. Okay, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put X-Pilot in here. Just for all of us, so you all can help me out if I miss somebody coming up. Okay, we're airborne. Let's do the final checks here. Autopilot's on. Anti-ice we don't need. Altimeters are still set. Landing lights reducing flaps to 0. And spoilers to disarm. Now, how do you know they're disarmed? Right here, this white little is what's telling you. Now, Flight Factor doesn't have that on their A320, so you got to kind of also look at your little messages up here. That'll tell you. We are now direct inlet. There you go, folks. We're on our way to Clarksburg. We're at ETA of 2 hours, 40 minutes. Watch your watch, folks. We're about ready. As we start getting some altitude here, that time will come down. It's scheduled at 1 hour and 50 minutes. We'll definitely be eating up some time here as we speed up. And that, folks, is part of the reason I'm not a big fan of nighttime flying. It's very hard to see. Some of these aircraft have really good visions, and you can't see them at night. Hoping for a daylight arrival. Okay, cleared inlet. And see, now you can put your time down. And continue on. Kind of like when I was when I was private pilot, I used to do that, but when we were in the railroad, each signal you went across, you said green, whatever the aspect was, green, yellow, red, whatever, however, depending which rail you were. Okay, there's 10,000 feet. And yes, folks, there is a checklist here if you're so inclined. I use a different one. I use one of the concise ones out there, so I can get through things. It gets all the checks done just a little bit. All right, so we're on our way through 13,000 and already down to 2 hours and 2 minutes. Don't think we just flew 35, 40 minutes, folks. Considering the clock says, oh, it didn't clear. Oh, 5 minutes since we departed. So, okay, 11 minutes since we left the gate. So, anyway, folks, we're on our way. Cabin's at 71 degrees, so they all should be happy back there. The weather radar's on, and we're in cruise as we work our way out of the Tampa area. I think we already lost another 15 minutes, folks. Just realize we do get some of that back in our descent. So, all right. So we are on our way, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. Again, an extended time on the ground, especially going through the nav graph annotations. Gonna have to beef up a little more knowledge on it because really didn't see how we can do text. But the drawing out how to get where we're going, oh folks, I see lots of applications and streaming with that. So we shall see. But again, we are turning over Tampa, headed north now on the Minko 1 departure. We'll sit back, relax, enjoy, and we'll let the plane do a lot of the talking today. All right, I am going to be nice to the cabin. I think that should help. Now, see if there's anything I can do about the lights. Thinking there isn't, but you know, give it a try. Let's nope. All right. There we go, folks. Again, thanks for flying with Mike. Sure appreciate you. And hey, if you're new to the channel, we'd love for you to smash that follow button. Tomorrow, we're going to be flying again out of one of those airports you don't see a lot in the streaming world, as well as anywhere else. Casper, Wyoming. And we're going to head up to Billings, Montana, and go from there if we have time. So, should be a fun flight. That'll be in the Zebo. So, get a good return on that. I got to make sure we're fully up to date. I think there's been another update since I got it readied for that flight. So, we'll double check. Yeah, we're going to come out of Casper, Wyoming. And that'll be for FedEx. So look forward to seeing y'all there. So all right, just a good time for me to go back, kind of look through our chat here and see what I've missed. Alright, there we go, folks. Through 26,000 for 39.
In a 668 just tuned 100 bits.
I'm Jack, Sun Country 315, visual runway 9, mining. I'm tracking 7 is on a quality 8 miles out for the ILS 8 Miami.
Alright, sorry folks, was away there, had to use the restroom. And so X68, welcome in, and thank you so much, sir, for the 100 biddies. We sure appreciate it. Hope you are having a great day. we're trying to warm up here. We started off below freezing, and hopefully we'll get up about 30 degrees above 60s. So we'll see how that turns out. Little chilly. That is so true. So true. That just reminded me something. I gotta change from that CTAF over to Unicom. Did I switch into climb? Did not. There we go. I just realized that something didn't seem right on the throttles there. Well, the funny thing is, I do that so much with other aircraft that I don't pull the throttles back for climb or switch it into climb. Here, you got to actually pull the throttles a notch or two back. But yeah, I get into trouble all the time. But it's better to get in trouble on a flight sim than the real thing. All right, so now I got to figure out this CTAF policy in regards to what we were facing there in Tampa, potentially. Let's see here. I know what CTAF is. I love this FAQ they have in VATSIM. Here's one of the questions. Does CTAF mean I don't have to look out for other aircraft? Wait a minute, we're supposed to watch out for aircraft? Really? Dang it. No wonder I always get that wrong. Here we go. I know how to talk on it. I do it at my work sometimes. That didn't answer my question. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm trying to, here is, just put it out there. Maybe some of you already know what VATSIM's position is. If, say, we're at Tampa, and I don't know if Tampa's under Jacksonville or Miami, it's one of those on the border. But if one of those two centers that is up, that would control Tampa, would the CTAF be used, or do I have to go over to the center? Because technically that tells me I should still be on CTAF. I don't, that's the thing I don't know. But then the IFR rules where you get your clearance from center and come into play too. Ay. That's what I was kind of hoping, but I don't know, Winslow. It's just... Oh, that's just too good. Now let's see here. Let me back up, see if I can find something. Special cases. Oh, look, they have one. If Flying with Mike is in the area. Of course, Los Angeles is special. Actually, they do have CTAFs at them. All airports have a common traffic frequency. Only ones that won't are your privates. And there's a reason they're not going to. They're private. Well, we'll just have to wait and see if I get one. So I think, okay, I think this opening thing in the trial is kind of saying it. Pilots not under air traffic control will review charts and run on CTAF. Well, we'll find out. But I still love this one. Does CTAF mean I don't have to look out for other aircraft? Heck no, it's dark. How am I supposed to see them? Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. We're in cruise. Hit 3 aircraft already? No, just kidding. And it's sunrise. Get that, folks. Flying tonight. That's fine. Really wish I could control the interior lighting better. Oh well. That's one thing you can do in Flight Factor, I think. I haven't really been in flight like this, and then set the lighting and see how it did outside. All right. So we are in cruise and somebody is trying to get ahead of me here. I saw them flashing out there. Let's see who they might be. Wow. I actually thought that was wishful thinking when I put my cursor over the aircraft. Must be this one. a Spirit flight from Charleston to Tampa. That sounds like fun, come to think of it. Just let me try something here. It's gonna work today. All right. Let me bring up Sim Toolkit real quick here. Give you an idea. This is the aircraft that you're seeing on my nav display down here. That's the one going to Tampa. Actually have approach up over here in Panama City. Destin's, I don't know if Destin falls under that. I'd have to look at the charts. But we've just come off the Sid. Twins is next, Spartanburg, then Charleston, West Virginia. And then we'll see if we have power lines on the approach into Clarksburg. So like we did into Charleston a few months ago. So, but anyway, folks, that's what we have ahead of us. And trying not to look too far behind us, because it doesn't matter what happened behind us, everything that's going to bother us is ahead of us. Beautiful sun. Like I said, man, if I could just knock these lights down, that would be awesome. What a beautiful sunrise starting up on X-Plane. Well, folks, being Tuesday, I am so much looking forward to what 12.1's offered. I haven't had a chance to sit down, watch any of the little videos that have popped up. I don't know if it's I didn't have the time or if I want to be surprised. I don't know which, how I want to take that. But boy, I am looking forward to. It's taken so long, so I'm kind of curious how much is coming. But yeah, that is gonna be awesome. Just looking at somebody I follow out there in the Twitch world, an interesting flight he has planned. Yeah, I am really looking forward to it. I really do hope. I mean, what they've done to date has just been amazing. Other than the fact it's always raining wherever I am. But we went through this a few streams ago. Oh, and I've actually found a couple more airports with floating buildings, which is a bummer. So, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. And yeah, I wanted to watch. I know I probably can find it out there, but I'm kind of wanting to be a little surprised with what they do, because it's going to come out in the betas, one piece at a time. So I don't. Well, they might release it all at once and then use the betas to fix it. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. As long as they get the. It's always raining when I do something here, even though it's a clear sky, not a cloud in the sky. Then all of a sudden it starts raining. That one cracks me up. I'm kind of wondering, just the way I watch Austin, something tells me April 1st. April Fool's Day. Just something's telling me that's where I think when it's going to come out. Am I going to be right, folks? I have no idea. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I will tell you, I love looking at the X-Plane Discord channel and all the speculation people have out there. I love that part of it. I love that part of the hype. Yep, he does. That's why I said, would not surprise me if April 1st is the day he drops it. Or they. I don't know if he's the one that actually drops it. I'm pretty sure he has a big say in it. Yeah. Yeah, I would think that would be a little perk he gets. No, his only perk is he gets that land care that he has. I don't even remember the name of it. Eclipse or something like that. Yeah, now that last one, a CPU performance, I'm all for. A little bit, yeah, back off a little on the lighting, but also don't back off so much we can't see the lights on the plane, like they started out X-Plane 12 with. But they've done great strides here. I mean, the 3D clouds, as promised, have been always getting better. Of course, you can't see them right now, folks, let alone the fact it's clear, but it's dark. So hopefully by the time we get to Clarksville, we'll see how these clouds are looking into here. Actually, I think it's actually called Clarksburg, not Clarksville. Oh my. Oh man. Dogs just crack me up. Good boy. Oh. I'm glad the in-bus air builds have been updated. One less reason to keep X-Plane 11. Yeah, I heard about the Airbuses being updated. Yeah, I get it with X-Plane 11. And I'll be honest, I think the scenery got updated in it with X-Plane 12 somehow. At least mine. Unless I'm just looking at it with X-Plane 12 glasses on. Yeah. It's they're porting over. I still am looking so forward to when the 727 ports over to X-Plane 12, and hopefully without that big bug with the TCAS. Ah. Yeah, it'll be nice when they come over. It just J Sims, I know, is just always, I think, worried about all the different updates that come about and making it hard on them. I mean, I can't even imagine being a developer when a sim is in, um, you know, in production, because now they're so always where before they used to not update as much. Now they're like updating left and right. Doesn't matter which one you fly. I think one doesn't update as much as X-Plane, but boy, but it's nice that they are continually updating, keeping it more current, and I do like that about it. Just makes it hard on a developer, I'll bet. All right, folks, we're just under an hour to our destination, and we're coming up to Twins here. Got about 11 minutes till we cross Twins. You won't even recognize it. Looks like we're just, if we do, it's a slight heading change. But, and then Spartanburg, I think we do make a bit of a turn to the left to head to Charleston. So, we're just continuing on here, folks, as the sun rises. All right, let's, with about 50 minutes or so to go here, folks, let's take a look at that arrival again. I know some of you weren't here when we briefed it up in the pre-flight as we built the flight plan into the McDo. So let's head back in the office here. It's a little chilly out here on the wings. So let's get back inside where there's a little more warmth and take a look at that. Oh, I see we just started into commercials. Give it about 30 seconds and get into this so everybody can see it. But again, thanks for flying with Mike. For those curious, we run commercials about every 20 minutes for a minute. And it helps Twitch and it helps us. So we sure appreciate those of you with us, and hope y'all will hit follow and follow us on to our next flight tomorrow from Casper, Wyoming, Billings, Montana. All right, so they're back. So let's get in here. For now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the pilot. We'll use charts for this. Matter of fact, I'm going to just make it bigger to make it easy on us. Okay. All right, folks. So, well, hang on a second here. Let me get rid of our departure and put us up here so you can see where we're at. We're just crossing Twins, headed up to Spartanburg. Hang on a second. One quick note here. On the nav display, you see ETP. What that is, folks, just a denotion of what the equal time point is, meaning you've hit the middle of your flight. So it's the same amount of time to continue on to your destination as it would be to go back where you started. Okay, that's all that means on there. Had a couple people ask me that, so I thought I'd bring it out real quick when I saw it. All right, so back to the arrival. Okay, so we are planning. Well, first off, let's look at the weather. As of 15 minutes ago up in Clarksburg, 240 at 16 gusts to 25. A little bit of a wind up there, folks, to deal with, but it is pretty close to runway heading, off by about 30 degrees or so. We'll see. I'm sure it's variable. We got 10 miles of visibility, and now we have some clouds at 10,000 to deal with. We'll take it, folks. The nice thing about NavGraph, if you're not METAR savvy to know what all of this means, all you got to do is just come down and read the translation. Now, the big one is after the word RMK. This gets into some what people have told me in the past, scientific data. I wouldn't go that far, but you'll see what I mean in a second. Got to get some coffee in me, folks. Sorry about that. Okay, and those remarks are MK, automated station. So that means Clarksburg doesn't have a weather station. It's automated with a precipitation discriminator. So that's how they know if it's raining or not. Sea level pressure, boom. Hourly temperature, 6.7 degrees Celsius, and a dew point of 7.2 degrees, minus 7.2. Very important that I said that. Reason being, had that been, if I'd have left saying 7 and 7, it's a good chance there might be fog. However, with a wind like that, very dicey if it would be there. But we would probably have clouds. When you get that dew point spread. We went through this with the dew point physics a couple streams ago. No, seriously though, folks. That would trend fog. Okay, so in 2978. So anyway, the remarks, this will just give it to you in English or your language. All right, just so you know, it is 7 degrees Celsius there, which for us in the U.S. means 45 degrees. And that's as of 17 minutes ago. All right, so Clarksburg is still favoring runway 21. Let's take a look at the airport real quick. Well, you only have one of two ways to get in there, folks. You either come in on runway 21, or you come in with one whale of a tailwind on runway 3. And it might even way out of whack on you, so you would have to come in. All right, terminal. That's kind of funny. It really doesn't show where the terminal is. I may have to look it up. Okay, well, anyway, so our ATIS or ASOS, automatic observation station, when the tower is not working, is 127.825. Probably won't work. It didn't work on POSCON. We'll give it a shout when we come in. Ground and our CTAF here will be 126.7. Okay. Departure and Cleveland Center has it when they're not online. Okay, deers, birds in the vicinity. We see those, folks. I'll be highly impressed. Birds, we used to see that in a Century of Flight. That's something that was FSX. I missed that. That's one thing I did love to do when I flew on that. So, all right, I'm thinking that might be the terminal, but this kind of looks like an Allegiant terminal too. So we'll see what's going on. So we have 7,800 feet to land on. We'll probably use it all. If not, we'll get off at Bravo. And let's see. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to be landing runway 21. So for today, my game plan, we're going to fly a right downwind, come out here to Fonts, and turn inbound on the ILS. We're just going to, actually, we may not go that far out. We may come in at RCAT and shoot the approach. We'll see how things play out there. And if we're under ATC, we'll do as ATC says. All right, so the briefing strip at the top here. Again, we've been through the frequencies, so we're going to need to make sure 109.3 gets into our McDo in the RadNav section with a front course of 211. RCAT, we need to cross at 2,878 feet, which in turned AGL is 1,654 feet. I bet at 1,200 feet above sea level. All right, decision altitudes here. 200. I don't know the visibility. We'll get that down below, but we'll go with 200 or 1,424 feet on the altimeter. Your 200 would be about right here, folks. Okay, we'll climb 1,800 feet, then on a right turn to 3,200 feet, direct Clarksburg VOR to hold at 2,200 feet. Again, right downwind, and then we'll turn in for the runway. Again, crossing at 2,900 feet at RCAT, and then working our way down. RCAT is 8.8 miles out. We're looking at about 2 minutes 20, not 2 minutes, 15 to 20 seconds on the trip from the RCAT to missed approach. When the time's up, if you don't see the runway, boom, up we go. And onto a missed approach. Balzer and Pappies. Pappies hopefully are on the left side. Now, for the full-blown minimums here, 200 feet AGL. Folks, your METARs, your cloud heights are AGL. They are not MSL. Believe me, 200 MSL. Well, let's just put it this way. At Bogota, you'd never see the clouds. You're at 8,000 foot MSL there. That's why it's always above the ground. Okay, so 200 and a half, or an RVR of 24 or better. Okay, now this plays into effect here when the localizer or glides with the localizer approach, glide slope being out, then DME and radar is required. DME from CKB is required, and you have to stair step down with your altitudes. All right, so there's the approach. We're coming into Spartanburg. Let's take a look here at how far we have to go. Okay, we're 45 minutes out. Oh, for a second there, I thought we were under ATC. And nobody's calling me. They're not. Okay. Oh, that ain't gonna help. Okay, that's no big. All right, so let me pull this away. And what I'm going to do is right now, we're 250 miles out. So with the other one, and you can use either of these. I just like doing it this way. Go to McDo, ATSU, AOC, and you can, well, if there is an ATIS, it would only be in place if Cleveland was up And they actually put one on it. We got a received message? No, we don't. Oh, I thought, what? When did I do that? Okay, so we'll do that here. Guitar. All right, so the new METAR. Okay, so we're looking at 240 as of 1853. Bear with me. Okay, so it's 24 minutes old. Same weather conditions, everything, folks. So that's good. All right, so with that in mind, let's head over here to landing perf, and same weather showing up here. What it can do is give us an idea of how things are looking at the moment. Okay, our landing weight, where are you? There you are. Estimated 118.5. Okay, now let's just plug it in, see how it does. That's on low brakes, folks. So we got plenty of runway for landing. We got 31, almost 3,200 feet of margin at the end. We're required 3507. I kind of like this. And it's really because of that wind helping. Not all. Dry. We're not going to need any ice. Yeah, this is actually looking pretty good, folks. All right, and did we just double check our altimeter? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so we'll kind of come back to it here in about about 150 miles. Check it again and see how it's doing. And then see if we're going to be able to get away with that. I think we will. All right, so there you go, folks. Just a little taste of what's coming. There's our approach brief. Sun is coming up. Finally reaching the horizon. Bet you it is probably one of the better flights to be on, that first in the morning. Ooh, beautiful sunrise. All right, folks, we'll get back to a few more runs of a song. Let's see here. So again, folks, we'll be in shortly, probably about 30 minutes into the Clarksburg area. Hope you all have had a great time. It's been a pleasure on my end. This has been a fun flight, and looking forward to getting into Clarksburg. Or Berg. To be honest, when I was at school at Ohio University, not far from Clarksburg, I never flew into that airport. I wished I had. We'll see. See if I missed anything. I flew into Roanoke. That was actually fun. And a couple of others, but I never did Clarksburg. In the good old Cessna 172. But I'll be honest, it's really, it's a very popular plane. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to diss it in any way. It's just not my kind of plane. I like the Pipers with that low wing, like an airplane should be. Yeah, I know if you fly cargo in the C-130s, C-17s, C-5s, yeah, you got the high wing. But I just like that low wing. So, but if you're out for sightseeing and pointing things out, I can see where a Cessna's better because it's a lot easier to see below the plane. Or if you're like most civil air patrols prefer Cessnas because a lot easier to look down for what you're out looking for. Oh, but anyway, yeah, it was fun times flying, folks. So really, if you're in and you're in a school or you're just flying, folks, keep at it. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs in it, and I'm not talking turbulence. There'll be turbulence with life that goes on trying to get all your ratings and hours, but in the end, I got a feeling it's really worth it, folks. I wish I'd listened to my own advice 35, 40 years ago. Then again, like I said, life just has a way the good Lord can see much farther than we can into our futures, into eternity. And, if you just follow what the Lord's telling you, can't go wrong. And in my case, yeah, I left flying. Boy, did I gain a lot. Many blessings. Never trade flying for the family that I have today. Great kids, great wife. Okay, maybe not the dog. No, just kidding. Hope he's not here to bite me. But no, seriously, folks. Keep at it. Oh, the dog's awake. All right. So we have crossed Spartanburg. Niels is up ahead, then Charleston. Just doing a little look ahead, folks, to see where the heck we park in Clarksburg. Oh, wow. Okay, found it. Oh, yeah, we come off Bravo? No. Wow. Okay, now I need to look at my chart again. Oh, here we go. I got it now. Taxiway Alpha south of Charlie, main terminal apron, helipad not visible from tower. Oh, okay. I get what they're doing here. I don't think they push back here. And this is an old picture. They still have the MD-80s. But anyway, yeah, we did this at Mid-America where the jetway would extend out to the plane and then retract back and fold, and then the plane would taxi on out. They're doing the same thing here. That's pretty cool. Okay, I got the, well, we'll see how it looks when we get there. So that's to Charlie, okay. Bravo, and I'm guessing Alpha down here. Oh, and they expect, okay, I got it. So most of them make it to where they can do the turnaround. Okay, interesting. It's a neat little airport. I kind of wished I'd have flown here. Now, granted, half this stuff wouldn't have been here, but still, looks kind of fun. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So, we will be parking. Let me give you a little flavor of that. Hang on a second. Need to go here. And all right, so here's the Clarksville chart. Okay, again, we're 1,200 feet above sea level. Here's our frequencies to deal with. All right, so when we land on 2-1, I guess the goal is to try not passing this, which we'll see. But we'll come off Bravo to Alpha. I'm sorry, Bravo onto Alpha. The main terminal is right here. actually it's right in here. And then we'll park, however, if there is a jetway. And then out via Charlie. Well, and then out Alpha if we're taking off and go. So, pretty little airport. This ought to be fun. And again, for those of you that did not see the demonstration, this is annotations. So, taxi. See how that works, folks? Okay, granted, that's a pretty ruddy thing there. Let me clear it, try again. Alpha. Kind of nice. Now, once we get this down to where I figure out how to use typing, we could be able to put in times. So, and fuel flows and stuff like that, like you would on a real flight. So, really a cool addition, I think that will be to NavGraph. All right. Now, speaking of, keeping you more in line with your flight, we're 120 miles from top of descent. I'm going to do a quick balancing act up here with our fuel. I should have done that earlier with a system check, but oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so we'll pop it out, come up here. First thing you do, folks, to balance your fuel, see how we're a little out of whack here? Not much, but a little. Crossfeed. Now all engines are fueling, or all fuel tanks are fueling the engines. Until now, with the transfer valve on, this is fueling engine 1 and engine 2. And it shouldn't take long to get down, because there is a little backwash into it. Okay, we're at just over 1,000. Actually, not even over 100. And then what we'll do when the two equal, we'll just bring the pumps back online and then turn off the crossfeed. I like to try to do it with the page up. It will go away real. Okay, we're just about there. Okay. Then I like to come back down. Hang on, folks. Back to my fuel tanks. Okay, so everything, for the most part, is balanced out. 10 pounds isn't going to be that bad. Get it back to tank to engine. So tank to engine means this, the left side fuels engine 1, the right side tanks fuel engine 2. Gets more pronounced when you have 4 engines out there. Each set of tanks are specifically for their engine. Okay, and now a system check would be very simple, folks. You just click all, and I pull it out, move it over, and just click all. Okay, hydraulics look good. Fuel, we know is good. Okay, looking good. Door. Okay, one thing with the doors, folks. Yeah, okay, we know the slides are armed and this and that. We're really more paying attention. This is what we need. This is the tank we use in the cockpit on an emergency descent. Or smoke. I mean, it is tanks, actual air tanks in the cockpit or below, right below, specifically for the cockpit. The oxygen generators take care of everybody behind them. So, wheels are closed, flight controls look good, status norm. And we're looking good. And then we're back to the general page. All right, so we are ready to begin setting up for descent. We're looking at 98 miles. Let's get our final weather report. Let's do it how they would. Get the right button here. Use this one. It's because I told you can use either one. ATSU, AOC, Clarksburg, back in, tar. Company message, return, received. Okay, now still as of 1853. It's not changed yet. 55 minutes old, still the same weather. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll be getting new weather in descent. All right, so let's go to our landing perf. Our data is still the same, so everything looks good. Approach speed will be 125, and we'll need 4,600 feet. Should be fine. Okay, so now let's proceed. Well, actually, what I wanted, let's get our new over here. Next phase, next phase. Okay, Q and H. Now, if you want to put it in this way, folks, not a problem. 2978. Gotta have it decimal. Temperature 7. Mind you, so we'll get new weather as we can. 240 diagonal. That's your at sign. 16. Not 76. Okay, transition level looks good. 125. Landing speed 120. ILS 21 looks good. And again, now for MDA and DH. All right, the chart in. All right, here's how I do it. We're going to use the column. Hang on a second. This column right here, everything we're going to go is working. Okay, it's when things start going out, we start going to the right. So we're going with everything working. So we have 1,524 foot MSL, 200 foot AGL for our minimum descent. We have an RVR of 24 and a half a mile. So what does all this gobbledygook mean? What I do here is that M triggers me to whatever the MSL figure, that's what's in bold, would go there. Now, if your company allows you decision height, which would be above ground level, folks, it's the same dot in the sky. It's just what are you measuring it from? Are you measuring it from sea level or from the ground level? Because when you hit, let's say I put for it, I'm going to 1424 in. Well, when we hit it, our radar altimeter will say 200. They're the same point in the sky. Or be off by a foot or two. All right, but let's say, oh, well, I want to make sure, so I'm going to put 200 in. Then it's going to get rid of that and go by 200. Again, we're doing the same thing. It's just, you know, you got to understand, you only get to choose one. So if you don't like MDA and you throw the 200 in, well, it'll get rid of it automatically. So that was getting annoying. So, see what it's in all that shades. getting the eclipse already? All right. Top of descent is still not. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right here, folks, at the 60-mile mark. This hockey stick looking thing. Speaking of the eclipse, folks, it's only, well, it's a couple of weeks away now. Here in the U.S., we'll get a good run, especially here in St. Louis. We're on the right on the northern edge of the totality one. So, ought to be pretty cool. We, whatever it was several years ago, went to a small airport south of here. And by the way, if I ever had a small airport, that's where I'd house it. But anyway, and we watched it from there. What a blast. And a lot of airplanes were flying in hopes of going up to see it in flight. And I don't think any took off. So, but there was no parking for airplanes. And I bet you the further south we would have gotten closer to where we're in that totality zone, there would have been no parking. So, you know, we had a blast. It was fun. So I'm looking forward to it again coming up here April 8th. So, but I did see a funny mime in regards to that. It was Oreo cookies lined up in a circle, and they were moving the pieces so it looked like what an eclipse looks like. I thought that was great. All right, folks. Hopefully when we come out of the commercial here, we will be ready for top of descent. Hope you've all enjoyed. It has been a blast, and looking forward to however this approach is going to be here in Clarksville. I haven't been here before, so I don't know. Just like many of you. So. But in 20 minutes, we're going to see what's involved here directly. All right, so let me pull up the descent checklist, get that running. All right, so landing elevation is in auto. It says so on the screen. The arrival's in. The performance is set up. Let's do one more thing. And let's get our top of descent winds set. Winds uplink and complete. All right, 20 minutes or 20 minutes. 20 miles out. We'll start our descent. And let's bring it down to 5,000. Well, let's make sure. Always got to make sure what our minimum safes are. Minimum safe here is, 5,000 should be good. It's saying 4,800 in the vicinity as we cross over the Appalachians, as you see here, folks. Look at that. We found clouds, folks. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's hop back into cockpit here, actually. One last look at it. All right, we are within 20 miles. Let's set it for 5,000. There goes our managed descent. And you know what? Let's put X-Pilot back up in the top in case somebody comes online. We can check, and I'm going to get CTAF loaded. 12.7, 26.7. There we go. All right, here we go, folks. Starting into Clarksburg. The squiggly line here, let me blow things up. This is where the computer projects we will match the descent profile that's set up to get us down to 5,000 with regard to any restrictions en route to getting there. Oh wow, if we do go out to fonts, I just did the math. We're only about 10-mile final, so that might, yeah, we'll see. All right. Now, another way you can tell when you're on the profile for your descent, the computer in the plane has predicted. Like Boeing, you'll have that little caret, you know, in Boeing that works right about here. Well, here, there's this, you can barely see it, but there's a green dot that'll start working its way. You want it to fit right between where the 3.6 is. And that'll be right on profile, or very close to it. I mean, you're going to be varying. If not, take over and, you know, you can do a, you know, open descent by your control. So, but there you go, folks. We are in descent for Clarksburg. Oh, that's right. From Jeff, there's a discontinuity. Trying to figure out what the heck was going on there. Forgot about that. As the ball starts coming down, you're going to see the descent starting to steepen. And we're going to go up here and get the seatbelt signs on. Lights on for the wings. As we come through 35,000 feet. Okay, we are starting down. Okay. Okay, getting a little fast. You can see that over here. We're getting close to the top end. So we'll just peel in some speed brake. Okay, now we're back into closer on profile. All right, so let's continue our descent checks. All right, speed brake half if need be. Q&H we'll set at 18,000. 10,000 we'll put the lights on. Constraints and landing system set. RNAV checked. Let's a radio check. Let's do that real quick as we punch through some clouds. Rad nav. ICKB 109.3 211 looks good. 3-degree glide slope. And we are now $37 miles from GEFFS, and then we'll start working our way over. Okay, we're going low on the brakes, we said. We'll arm the speed brakes here in a moment. Do a quick weather update. Still on it. Hour and 4 minutes old. All right, folks. We're in the Clarksburg area. I'm going to switch over at Jeff's to the tower frequency and bring us in. Oh, coffee. All right, we're gonna take over heading. All right, check. 2978. All right, so we're going to actually hit this about right. There's about our 5,000 foot mark. So we'll be turning downwind, continuing our descent to be no lower than 3,800 feet if we turn in for fonts, lower if we're going to be. But we also got to make sure terrain is going to play nice with us. All right, so here we go, folks. I'm going to go ahead and back us off a little bit on this descent. And then I'm going to be taking over speed. Now, once you take over speed, folks, and you have control, not the flight automation system, only then do I recommend hitting activate approach phase. Otherwise, the plane will say, okay, or the computers will say, okay, plane, fly at F speed, which is like 150 for the duration until you turn, set things. So if you have control of the speed and activate it, then it won't jump into that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start slowing us down. And time to gain in. Oh yeah, look at that, folks. We'll make a nice turn out. Estimated 2-1 would be 1-3, 1-2. So is that right? No, 2-9. Zero 030. Yeah. So 030 will be roughly the heading we turn to till we see the runway. All right, there's 10,000 feet. let's go ahead and alert. We're going to have fun finding this, I think. All right, well, we're going to be turning at 5,000 feet to 030. All right, 030 now. All right, hopefully when we come out of the break, you all will get a good taste of the arrival here. Okay, final checks here. We've got the, we don't have the flaps out yet. Let's go ahead and continue to 3,800. Clarksburg traffic, Allegiant 989, right downwind for 21. And here we go. I told you folks we'd run into rain even though there is no rain forecasted. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and correct a little bit. Okay, there's our radar altimeter. You saw that come on. Hang on, I dropped 1,000 too low. Yes, I did. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make my turn. Okay, we're going flaps 1. Okay, let's go approach. Okay. I'm only using the other. I can't see the air. Oh, wait a minute. I can't see the airport. Okay, flaps 2. Still don't see the airfield. Right, there's the localizer. Clarksburg traffic. Clarksburg traffic, Legion 989, turning final on the localizer 421. I'm on their frequency, aren't I? My apologies. Clarksburg common traffic, Legion 989, final 21. Getting yelled at for speed. Flaps full. Maybe that's what it is. I think I've got the runway right here. Let's close in a little bit, make sure. See how the radar looks over here. Okay, here comes the glide slope. We are at landing speed, RCAT. Clarksburg traffic, RCAT for Allegiant 989 gear down. There is, by the way, into a discontinuity that I just flew by hand, just because I didn't feel like programming it all in. I didn't want to fly the full procedures, so which would have been Clarksburg outbound, swing a procedure turn to come back in. So yeah, that was a discontinuity. Flaps full, spoilers armed, all green, runway definitely in sight. And I'm going to go ahead and take over. The heck? What could go wrong, right? I know some flight simmers out there say that. Brace, brace, brace. Okay, this approach isn't too bad. Landing.
100 above.
I don't like how it lets the airspeed get down so low.
Minimum.
Again, landing, stable. And you know, I say it and then she drifted.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Yep, we didn't make, or did we make the turnaround? I think we did. Kind of cracks me up. It looks like such a busy airport. Probably is. Come to, yeah, I'll say that. It probably is. That they built this elaborate turnaround. Well, they do have the terminal modeled here. Kind of a neat little airport. I may have to fly here more often. All right, let's turn everything off. Waiting on the EPU. I think the flap's open. Pretty sure that jetway's not going to come out. All right. Thought I hit the seatbelt sign. Oh no, I turned it off. That's right. All right, let's shut them down. All right, folks, welcome in. I hope you enjoyed. Interesting. I'm still getting used to working on this CTAF policy they have here. Had a feeling I'd be on the wrong channel, and we're trying. And I know there are going to be a lot of people screwing it up, so not just me, but a lot. So, but anyway, we are in Clarksburg. Neat little airport. I highly recommend. Let's see what happens. I'll be doggone. It is going to come out to us. All right, let me get the chocks moving in. And we'll finish up checklist items here. Let's see, APU's on, brake temperatures were good. And terrain radar can come off. Oh, I know why they're not coming out. Oh no, they should be. See if anything's gonna automatically start moving. There it comes. Piece by piece. Kind of shocked the main door doesn't open up right away. But anyway, folks, welcome in. I didn't get to see, we landed kind of slow. So we're going to kind of review here. I'm going to check my PIREP. 108 feet a minute we filed with Mac Air. So everything looks good there. Yeah, we're going to get used to common traffic. That is weird. Okay, TCAS is standby. I'm going to go ahead and come off VATSIM unless I see traffic nearby. Okay, I'm not going to see it that way. All right, let's get up here wherever the heck I am. All right, nobody in the area, so we'll do that. And we're going to come offline. Folks, if you don't come offline, if you try the rewind method here, it's going to kick you offline anyway. So let's bring up Sim Toolkit. This is the other reason I really like that it gets as in depth in the landing reports as it does. So we got Pi to CKB. Click on that. Then your view details. This is your basic 2-hour flight, 695 miles, 4.3 kilos of fuel. Landed at 375 feet a minute per Sim Toolkit at 108 knots. Slow. I'm going to tell you that right now, about 20 knots slow. All right. That's the only thing it won't tell you, okay? Is that you were under your VREF. I wish it would, but I don't know how you would program it to. Hang on a second, need some coffee. All right, so we landed on a 7,800 foot runway. We only had 1,318 feet down the runway. Actually, call it 1,319 feet down the runway. 8 feet off the center line. Folks, those numbers I like. Look at, here's runway 21. Here's where you're visually aiming for. Your glide slope and PAPIs are always right in the same area, trying to get you there. So that part of the equation I really like. It shows where and how you did on the runway. Pitch, we'll have to, if we get the rewind, we'll have to see if that's maybe too much. 108 is really, should have been about 125, folks. So that's bad on me. 1.5 Gs, again, not bad. And everything else looks pretty decent. Now you could see we were trying to wiggle in because of that wind. Remember, it was pretty brisk. 240, I think it was last we got a report on it. Checking Sky Vector right now. Actually, they finally updated it. 200 at 20. So it's still pretty much down the runway, but it's gusting to 27. And of course, in a mountainous area, folks like the Appalachians, they're going to play heck with you all the way through. So overall, a really good set of numbers. And that's what I love about this. You can go in here. I can go all the way back to the very first flight I flew and see how those numbers stack up to this one. See if I'm improving. Hopefully, maybe, maybe not. So, all right, so let's pull that away. All right, let's see here. Everything's doing its thing. I'd really love to know how to pull that back in. But anyway, all right, so we can go just full off on that. And just going to work it from here. Only because it's so much easier. All right. Kind of watch from a distance here as it rains again. I really hope 1.0 gets rid of that. I think their dew point physics is a little off. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the staircase. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, yeah. All right. So that's great. All right. And a jetway just tore half my airplane up. Oh, this airplane's batting 1,000. Oh, let's see here. What was I wanting to do? Oh, chocks. That I'll do down here. All right, folks, we're going to try it. No guarantees. It's hopefully 1.0 gets it more reliable again to review your flight landings and flights en route. We've used it en route a couple times. So, all right, here we go. So far, so good. Survey says, come on, come on. There we go. There you go. Keep going. Perfect. Hey, 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 easy. Hang on. Gotta get all the rain, folks. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Gotta have fun with it, folks. My thing is 7 degrees. I'd like to see how close to tail skidding I was. Actually, we're not doing too bad on the approach. Pushed a little over, but pretty good. Actually, that's not bad. That actually wasn't too bad at all on the angle. Sorry if that was too loud, folks. Actually, that is really overall, I'm going to have to say that was a pretty good landing. Let's take a look from the passenger point of view. Well, let's go this side first. The only thing, the Airbus kind of, I never think you're at full flaps like that. Even though you are. Not bad. It's funny, the control tower can't see some things, yet it's right there. I know which one they're talking about. Now let's look over here where the terminal will be. Oh wait, no, that was the control tower by the terminal. Well, we'll have to look at a METAR and see if it's raining. I doubt it. Nice. Well, folks, that is not a bad landing. I want to say thank you all. We're going to look at it a couple more ways, but overall, folks, this was a fantastic flight. I want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today. It has been a pleasure. It's been a while, and it's going to be that way, as I indicated in the opening of this. Both my youngest and my middle daughter are both set to give birth here within the next few days. So for the next month or so, we're going to be guaranteeing hopefully one stream a week, maybe another. So, but we'll see what transpires. So, just so you understand why the flights seem to be curtailed. Hey, thanks. We appreciate you coming up. Thanks for the 100 biddies. We appreciate it. And hope you have blue skies where you're at. So, but anyway, I wanted to get that out there so you all understand. You're only going to see one scheduled flight a week until about April, maybe to the end of April. And then I just want to make sure I'm available as much as possible. All right, so folks, I want to say thank you again for flying with Mike. Next flight is the scheduled flight for the week, tomorrow, barring anything that may happen overnight. But anyway, we will be back at it. Casper, Wyoming to Billings, Montana. Zemo action with FedEx. Hope to see you all there. Hope to not be as tardy as I was today. So, y'all have a great day. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow on the tarmac in Casper, Wyoming. FedExing to Billings. We'll see you then, folks. And again, wishing you all a great day. And we'll see you then. Good night.
Mike, one of the select few surviving X-plane aviators. Thank you for the raid. Hello, Mike. I heard you were flying Allegiant as well. Personally, I would never fly Allegiant in real life, but that's okay. I do have the Allegiant livery for the ToLiss as well. See ya. Wait, how do the kids do it on VATSIM? What do they say? See ya. Oof. Be right back. I need to go grab some almonds.